Up, you guys, and welcome to the Chosen League podcast, where fire sports content is the name of the game. I'm your host, Devin. But before we get into today's episode, two things. Number one, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload an episode. And two, here's today's topic question: are the Miami Dolphins a better team in the AFC after acquiring Jalen Ramsey? Yes, they are. And here's why. So let's look at Jalen Ramsey. You got Jalen Ramsey, Bradley Chubb, Tua Tagovailoa, who's still, battling with his concussions and everything. He's been in concussion protocol throughout the season. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. So when we look at Jalen Ramsey, this trade right here, the Dolphins get Jalen Ramsey, and then in return, the Rams get a 2023 third-round pick and also tight end Hunter Long. So looking at Jalen Ramsey, he's a Super Bowl champion, won a Super Bowl with the Rams, had some high-quality players on that team, Matthew Stafford, Odell Beckham. I can go on and on. But Jalen Ramsey has the mindset of a champion. He knows he wants to win, and he knows what it takes to win. The veteran leadership he has, the competitive nature he has, the passion and love for the game that he has, it shows. He can bring out the best in his teammates with his competitive nature, pushing everybody else to be better, whether it can be Bradley Chubbs, Tyreek Hill. And that's the thing. Imagine those two going head-to-head in practice. They're going to bring out the best in each other. Tyreek Hill, as we know, the cheetah, the man who has the speed, he has the juice. Jalen Waddle, after the Dolphins end up getting Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, just like how the Seattle Seahawks, the Legion of Boom, you have the Legion of Zoom with the Miami Dolphins. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, two fast receivers who has the speed, but the thing about adding Jalen Ramsey is, like I said before, you get the championship. You got a guy who has that championship experience who can express that to the team and push the team even further and let them know, like, this is what it takes to win. You guys want to win. And looking at the Dolphins were undefeated last year until they lost their first game. And, with the Dolphins keeping Tua in their future plans, taking his salary from the 2023, and they're going to incorporate it into the 2024. So they're going to keep him. They don't think it's anything major, but I don't believe so. There's nothing else that has come up that said about, it could be a career-ending injury or whatnot with this concussion. But what you have to understand about the Dolphins is, even though they have Tua, but they also have another great quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater. He's been a starter and he's also been a backup. So either way, he has made a name for himself. And with this Miami Dolphins squad, looking at the defense, other than Jalen Ramsey and Bradley Chubbs, you have Javon Holland, Jerome Baker, Melvin Ingram. The Dolphins have got stronger defensively, and they're going to get stronger on the offensive end. They're going to be strong on both ends, but the main concern is they have to stay healthy. And also with Jalen Ramsey, he didn't have a good season last year. Looking back at it, let me give you guys an example. When it comes to those situations where you're playing man or zone coverage. You got to make sure you stay in front of your guy. Jalen Ramsey didn't do that when it came to them playing the Buffalo Bills. Stephon Diggs really did get the best of him. You can't allow a guy who could be the number 1, 2, or 3 best receiver in the league get 10 or 15 yards on you. And you can't let them, as a cornerback, you can't let that receiver get by you. You have to stay in front of him. Whether he runs a slant, whether he runs across midfield and Josh Allen hits that ball to Stephon Diggs, you gotta be aware of that. You got to be aware of the receiver as a cornerback. Watch the quarterback's eyes, determine where the receiver is going, or at least try to, but don't let him get in front of you. So that's my only thing about Jalen Ramsey. I hope he has a better season with the Miami Dolphins. And I'm really happy that, he got traded to the Miami Dolphins. He's familiar with Florida. He's played college football for the Florida State Seminoles. I mean, he did good, and he's going to the South. He's coming to South Beach, and looking at him suit up in the Dolphins jersey and seeing his debut, that is going to be a beautiful thing. I wish all the best to Jalen Ramsey. I hope he has a successful season with the Miami Dolphins. I hope the Miami Dolphins themselves have a successful season. That is all for today's episode. Make sure you guys once again like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload an episode. I'm Devin, and I'm signing off.